across the globe, people are learning to make jewellery from their homes, creating their own small and beautiful businesses with a simple toolkit and a passion for making sparkly things. I've invited 3 jewellers to my home for 3 days of learning, making, creating, and some serious relaxation. We're back with a second series, bigger and better than ever before. This is the Jewellers Retreat. Over the next few days, 3 training jewellers will make 3 projects. From pendants and earrings to engagement rings and storytelling jewellery, they will cover it all. With only a limited time to complete each project, the pressure will be on, but we'll be cheering them on every step of the way, and we'll get to see just how some of this amazing jewellery is made. Meet Kate Seale, a Yorkshire-based handmade jeweller who is mum to a 7-year-old boy and a self-confessed gemstone addict. Tressa, a Hertfordshire-based surgeon, stepmom to 2 lovely stepsons, and founder of her own jewellery business, Russian Blue Jewellery. And Kath Dare, a mum to 4 and South London-based full-time jeweller with a thriving weekly market stall where she has sold hundreds of pieces of her work. These jewellers have all completed the 1-year diploma in Advanced Jewellery with Jewellers Academy and have come such a long way with their training. I can't wait to see how they get on with their projects and put some of their newfound skills into action. And they will not be alone, guided by 3 talented mentors. Anelia Caprina, award-winning fine jeweller who has worked in the Hatton Garden jewellery trade workshops for many years. April Dace, Norfolk-based goldsmith and experienced designer maker. And Barbara Yard, London-based goldsmith jeweller and jewellery tutor. Alongside our 2 business mentors, myself, Jessica Rose, I'm the founder of Jewellers Academy, and Anna Campbell, our community manager, jeweller and teacher. Expect jewellery making, tool porn, techniques, business tips, gemstones, and most of all, tons of fun and creativity with this talented group of budding jewellers. If you are ready, let's get started. Welcome to day 1 of the Jewellers Retreat. As you can see, I'm here in the studio with the jewellers. Welcome, jewellers.
Hello.
Wonderful. Today they're going to be making a necklace for a special occasion with someone they know in mind. They have just 5 hours to complete the project, and as they're advanced students creating intricate work, we have allowed them to pre-make some basic elements of the pieces in advance to see if it's possible to fit it in just those 5 hours. Those 5 hours start now, so without further ado, let's get making. Hi there, Kath.
Hi Jess.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Lovely to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, so tell me what you're going to be making today. I'd love to hear all about it.
I'm making a necklace for my friend Jill, for my best friend Jill. She loves sweets, she loves colour, and so it felt right to sort of do a necklace based around sweets.
Love that idea. So what kind of sweets? Tell us a bit about how the design works.
So yes, I'm going to do lolly, sort of upside down.
Very retro.
Yeah, with mixed silver and rose gold. And then this necklace, sweetie necklace.
I remember these,
yes.
The little rondels that you have to eat one by one.
And then the
hundreds and thousands.
Yes, so I'm going to make a pendant with flush set stones.
Oh, beautiful.
And then the clasp is one of the bananas and a jelly ring.
Love that. That sounds like a lot, but it sounds amazing. So you've got 3 charms that are going on the necklace. Do you think you will fit it all in the 5 hours?
I hope to. I hope so, yes.
Yeah, because you've got some wire twisting, you've got some stone setting and lots of metal work, but it looks amazing. Can't wait to see it all finished. So I will let you crack on because you've got lots to do.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with starting your project. Hi there, Kate.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yes, good, thank you.
Tell me a bit about the pendant you're going to be making today, because I know it has a special story behind it.
Yes, so I'm making this pendant for a really good family friend. She has a son who he was taking a gap year last year and was in Kiev very shortly before Putin invaded Ukraine. And because it was his birthday, she went out to be with him. The next day, they woke up to bombs being dropped, and it was really scary. They had to flee Kiev in the car. They were living in the car for about 7 days in total, just trying to get across the border and then back to somewhere where they could get flights home. And but because one of the flowers for Ukraine is the sunflower, I've made this design where we've got the petals, and I'm going to
beautiful.
Thank you. I'm going to use these stones. So I've got some trillion citrines, and I've got a smoky quartz, round quartz, for the centre of the sunflower. There is one other symbol behind it. Because she's a rabbi, I've arranged the stones so that it's essentially a Star of David.
Brilliant. So there's loads of symbolism there.
Absolutely.
Really thoughtful piece. And I think that's the amazing thing about handmade jewellery is you couldn't get those layers of, thinking about someone else's journey and in something that you bought off the shelf. So I think she's going to absolutely treasure this piece.
Thank you.
So brilliant. Okay, so you've got 2 little plates here and you're working in silver?
Yes, I'm working in silver. I'm going to have some 9-carat gold detail on it, so I've got some granulation that will go on, some 9-carat gold claws as well.
Wonderful.
Just to bring the sunshine to the piece.
And then these beautiful stones. So
Absolutely.
you have lots to do. Do you think you'll get it done in the time?
I think so, but it's probably going to be a bit tight at times.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think you can do it. You've got lots of skills in stone setting and working with the metals, so we're here to chill you on.
Brilliant.
But good luck. I hope it goes well, and I'll come and check on you in a bit.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Bye. Hi there, Tressa.
Hey, Jess.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, I think.
Excited to be here.
Yeah.
Day 1, Jewellers Retreat. Lovely to have you. So tell us what you're going to be making today.
So I'm making a pendant, and it's for my friend Vanessa, and she's just finished treatment for breast cancer, so it's to kind of celebrate that. And the idea is I'm using this cushion cut blue tourmaline, and the base is argentium, and I'm going to fuse this 22-carat gold wire on, but in a kind of crazed effect, to kind of emulate kintsugi, which is the Japanese ethos. When pottery breaks, they repair it with resin with kind of gold leaf in, well, with gold powder in it. And the idea is that when an object is damaged and repaired, that history becomes part of the object. So rather than hiding the imperfections, it's kind of part of the object and something to be proud of. So
I love that.
after everything she's been through, I thought that would be quite appropriate, and
very symbolic.
And it's her favourite colour, so that's where the blue tourmaline came from.
Great. So you've got this argentium silver, which is a bit different to working with sterling, isn't it?
Yes, it gets a bit temperamental when you heat it up, but it fuses really well. So I'm also going to kambu around the outside, so it means that I don't need to depletion gild it as much in order to do the kambu.
Wonderful.
And
so you've got lots of techniques in there. You've got stone setting, kambu, fusing, some soldering.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you think you'll be able to get it done in the 5 hours?
We're about to find out.
We are. Well, I hope you do, and I think that your friend will absolutely love that. It's a really nice tribute to her. So I will let you get on. Good luck, and I'll come see how you're doing in a bit.
Thanks. Because I'm trying to fuse, I've wanted to try and get the whole piece as hot as I can to try and get both the silver and the gold up to temperature. But the risk is you can just melt the whole thing, so we'll see what happens. And you can see as the flux is drying, it's kind of forming that white crust, which will then burn off and go kind of clear, glassy colour. You
can make a little dip in the charcoal, which is probably helpful, but I quite like the splat underneath.
Right, so I'm cutting the seats at the moment to set the stones, and I've done 4 so far. This is the one that I've just done, and I want to see if the stone actually fits. So, moment of truth, is it sitting nice and level? Okay. Yes, I think so. I think that will do. Right, on to number 5.
Probably fused some bits, but not all of it. I'll wait for it to cool down and we'll have a look. So I don't want to quench it because the wires will fall off, so I'm just going to put it on the steel block to cool down a bit.
So Jess, I wondered what you thought about this actually. I was just kind of messing around to see if I can make this other dolly mixture, and I think this is too thick, the silver. So I'm wondering whether I should mill that down more or whether I'll just lose the colour.
I reckon just mill the gold, why not? Should we give it a try?
I can give it a try. It will make it very thin though, that's my worry.
Should we give it a go with the rolling mill? Why don't you
Let's
flatten
try.
it out? I'll get Anelia
Yes,
and
okay.
we can do the rolling mill.
Okay, lovely, thank you.
Today the students will be guided by mentor Anelia Caprina. Anelia is an award-winning independent jewellery designer specialising in fine jewellery which is handmade in her workshop in London. Her work is highly technical and detailed, and she has a vast range of skills after training as a jeweller and working in the trade in hat and garden workshops for many years. She is also an excellent jewellery teacher who has taught at the London Jewellery School and Jewellers Academy, and is now a mentor on the Diploma in Advanced Jewellery, helping students all over the world to develop these more advanced skills.
There's like a bus that can be driven through there. I don't know what it's
Huge gap, yeah. Maybe went the wrong direction.
It's happening. It shouldn't be this hard. Literally, I think I went a bit too far.
You can do it, guys.
So, antique, that way. Still tough.
It is.
So you need it a little bit thinner.
Well, in an ideal world I need it longer, not thinner. This might not.
Can we try to hammer it to make it straighter?
Yes,
Yes?
I think that
Okay,
would be
let's do
a good
that.
thing.
I think it's a tiny bit better.
Yeah.
We definitely need to anneal it.
Yeah,
It does look a little bit better,
it
doesn't
does,
it?
without a doubt, yeah.
So we'll try to anneal it, and then maybe I'll give it a couple of more taps.
Hey, Anelia.
Hi Tressa, nice to see you. How is your project going?
I think it's going all right. So I've managed to fuse the gold onto the argentium, and
Yes.
now it's about 1.8 mils. So I'm going to try and reduce it down to 1.5, which should then make the gold look like it's part of the argentium. Well, that's the plan anyway.
Yeah, it
And
looks
I'm-
very pretty.
Thank you.
Well done, very neat.
And I'm going to use watercolour paper to try and give it a texture at the same time.
Oh, wonderful, very interesting.
So that's the plan. I'm going to try and use the rolling mill, but because I want to get it at exactly 1.5 millimetres,
Yes.
I'm using these feeler gauges, which are kind of engineering things. So I've got one set at 1 mil, one set at 0.5. So I'm going to put both of those and the paper through to then set the rolling mill, and then take the feeler gauges out, put the metal in with the paper,
Yeah.
and see
It's
what
such
happens.
such a helpful tool, isn't it?
They're very handy, yeah. So let's see if I can get the right way. So it should be about there, so I'll just undo it till I can get it out, put it back there. Eyeball it, see if it looks about right.
And so when you will be rolling it down, are you
Yeah.
putting it a particular way?
Yeah, so because of the pattern, it's a little bit wider that way than this way, so I'm going to put it this way to stretch it and even it out a little bit.
To stretch in a particular direction,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's see what happens. Right.
Okay, Tressa, we're ready to go. I'm gonna do the rolling.
Okay, I'll pass it through if you can do the
Pass it
rolling.
through,
Okay,
please.
let's go for it.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
There is no way back.
Yep. You feeling strong?
Oh my God. Okay. It should
Let's
come
see
out
what
now.
we've got. Yeah,
Oh, it's
there.
beautiful.
It's looking a lot more flat and level now, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it's lovely. It's almost like an inlay now.
Yeah, that was my plan, to try and make it look like that Japanese kintsugi. Cool.
Fantastic. Well done. Great job.
Thank you. So now that I've got it looking okay, I'm going to cut out this cushion shape like that, because the stone's also cushion shaped. So I'm going to make the base the same shape but at 90 degrees. And then once I've cut it out, I'm going to just gently dome it to give it a bit more 3D and then solder the bezel on.
That sounds great. You've got lots of work to do, and good luck with it, and I'll see you soon.
There are many reasons why someone might decide to take up jewellery making and start their own jewellery business. Kate Seale started her business originally as a tribute to her late mother. The shock of losing her made Kate think hard about her own life. She realised she couldn't let her dream of running her own business slip away. Today, Kate runs her business full-time around childcare, looking after her 7-year-old boy. She is an inspirational student and jeweller. Let's hear a little more about her story.
Hello, I'm Kate and my jewellery business is Kate Seale Jewellery. I describe myself as a fine artisanal jeweller, so I love working with gemstones, with gold, and I love the pieces to have still a handmade feel. I don't want it to look like you could get it just anywhere. I decided to start my jewellery business after my mum died. She had a pulmonary embolism, and suddenly one day she was here, the next she was gone, and it really made me realise how short life is, and we just can't let our dreams get away from us. When somebody buys a piece of jewellery from me, I just love this feeling of having made their life that little bit better, that little bit happier, that little bit more sparkly. I love the reaction that I get whenever somebody opens a piece of jewellery, maybe as a present. I always get such lovely comments back, like, oh, she loves it, it's become one of her favourite pieces. One of the biggest things about Jewellers Academy is the community. Okay, we might not necessarily be all together in the same room, but I've still got friends. I can still go onto one of the Facebook groups and know that I've got support there, mentors, you've got experts there to help when you've got a problem, and it just stops you from feeling so alone. I think we can be quite isolated in our workshops, and sometimes you have one of those days where it's just not going right, the solder gods are not with us, and then you go onto the Facebook group and say, I'm having this problem, and you just have this flood of, don't worry about it, you can do it, everything is solvable. And you'll also have people with, if you've got a specific problem, saying, how about trying this, how about trying that? There's just this wealth of knowledge and support. Being on the Advanced Jewellery Diploma was just such a wonderful experience, but also having the support from the mentors. I also did the Fine Jewellery Diploma, and I've been lucky enough to have Hayley as my technical mentor for both the Fine and Advanced. The confidence that she's given me in my work, you know, when I get my feedback and she's saying, actually, this is really good, yeah, there's this to work on, but you should feel really proud of yourself. You've made this piece of jewellery and it's brilliant. Really nice to have that sort of feedback and to feel myself growing as a jeweller. Hi Nelia.
Hi Kate, you're working on a very intricate project. How is it going?
Yeah, it's really fiddly at the moment. So I'm putting the claws around the pendant. They'll end up holding the stones. But I'm just wondering, when it comes to attaching the top plate to the bottom plate, I want to get the same space between the two. I've got some copper spacers here, but I've also got some titanium strips. Is either one better?
That's a very good question, and it's a great idea to have spaces. You can use different materials for that, as long as they conduct heat very well. And in our case, I would say probably copper would be better, because you can shape it easier to the size and thickness that you would like. Whilst with titanium, it's a little bit harder to work with, so you have a lot more flexibility with copper, and I'm sure it will work absolutely fine.
Brilliant, thank you so much. I do have one more question.
Sure.
So I've also got gold and silver, and when it comes to soldering it, I'm wondering, should I use gold solder or silver solder?
Oh, it's an excellent question. So a general rule, when you're soldering different types of metal, it's better to use the solder of the metal which is more pure. In our case, it's gold. And also, it just works better that way. And additionally, if you have some solder running onto the claws, you wouldn't have to worry that much about cleaning it out because it will be a lot less visible.
That's brilliant, thank you so much.
You're very welcome and good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Okay, jewellers, you are doing amazingly well with all your pieces. Just to let you know, we are now at the midway point. So we are halfway through. I know it's gone so quickly and there's so much more to do, but keep going. I believe you can do it. But yes, halfway at this point.
Right then, so I've got to get this to solder. And that's thin. That disc is thin. So let's hope this goes well. It's going a bit okay, let's get too red. Come on. Ooh. Oh, action there, look. There we go, it's gone, that's lovely. That's a relief. Okay, so now I'm going to try and swirl this round. Hopefully it won't need annealing again, but that's already gone quite hard there. So I'm just going to have to do this quite gently. I'm trying to recreate this effect. There we go, that's not terrible. And then I'll have the shape. I've got enough silver at the back to create that so it looks a bit rounder. And I'll solder that into place.
So Kate, this looks like a tense moment. What's happening?
Okay, so I have these little gold granules and they're quite tiny and they're quite fiddly.
Lovely.
And I'm trying to set them out around the flower. And obviously there's quite a lot of symmetry here, so I want to make sure that they are nicely spaced out. So what I've just done is used a ball burr to make a little indent for the granules to sit in.
Yeah.
And they should, in theory, sit, there we go, in those little indents.
Oh, so those are going to be soldered there now?
Yes, so now I've got little pieces of solder and that's the next fiddly bit, trying to put the
Great.
solder next to the granules.
All right, let's do it.
Because I've only done one lot so far, I'm still using hard solder. So I'm going to try and use hard for as long as I possibly can until it gets to the really fiddly bits later on.
And I guess you've got to be careful not to unsolder those claws in the middle.
Absolutely. And also, I don't want the solder to run on top of the silver because obviously I've got two different colours there. I've got the yellow gold and I've also got the silver.
Gotcha. So it's very delicate work.
Yes.
Okay, so you're heating it up.
I am, and I'm just.
Edges.
I am. So I'm keeping the flame because I'm using liquid flux, and it can bubble up. And obviously, with everything being so delicate, there's a good chance that all of that hard work that I've just done is going to jump about and move. So I'm just trying to dry it out without it bubbling up too much. So now I'm just heating the silver itself up because that's the largest bit of metal.
Yeah.
And the silver conducts the heat far more easily than the gold.
It's getting that nice sort of orangey colour, getting nice and warm.
Yeah, starting to.
That claw in the middle doesn't look too hot though, which is good
No,
news.
absolutely. This is it. It's trying to make sure that the claws in the middle don't either have their solder run, although I think there's still the tension there, so they should be all right.
I see a bit.
Yeah,
There's
I think I've seen a bit of flash there. Yeah,
sure.
and that one,
Yeah.
yes. Keep looking. Yes, there we go.
It's all happening.
Oh no, it's tried to move. Trying to burn my fingers at the same time. Right, don't know if that one's gone. I have to just turn it gently. At least the flux now will be at least holding them in place, even if the solder's not flowed yet.
So they're not going to run around.
Absolutely. I'm not sure. There we go, definitely seen that one flash.
I saw it.
Da, da, da. Oh, it's getting a bit too hot now. There we go. I think
I think
you did it.
I think so.
I think you nailed it.
Yes.
Well done.
And breathe.
So that goes in the pickle, and then you've got more soldering.
I do indeed, yes. I've
Yes.
got all these little claws to do as well. So,
Brilliant.
yes, going to be an afternoon of soldering.
Oh, well done. Good luck for that. And
Thank
we'll come and check on you in a bit.
Marvellous. So I've already soldered it once, but there's parts of it that haven't actually soldered together. So I'm going back in, and hopefully this time it should secure it a bit more. But I need a bit more heat. You can see the previous solder that I've done is kind of slightly bubbling and shining. That's it, that's going a bit there, that's it. Hopefully that is doing what we need it to do. I'm not going to push it. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that so far. Doing what it's supposed to do.
Hi Kath, how is your stone setting project going?
Good, thank you. Quite scary, but I was just going to ask you how you get your flush settings to stay permanently.
Okay, it actually requires a number of stages, and the most important one is to drill the perfect seat for the stone. I would recommend using a stone setting burr of exactly the same diameter as the stones you are using, and you need to drill it to the right depths, so not too deep and not too high. It needs to have just enough metal to rub over the stone, and that way hopefully you'll get a very neat and secure setting.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You've got quite a few of them, and I'm sure you'll do well.
Thank you very much.
So what is the next step?
I'm going to get my setting burr and start preparing the seats and start fitting the stones.
It's looking great, Kath, and I'm sure you'll do really well, and I'll see you shortly.
Thank you very much.
Stone setting is a central skill for a jeweller to learn. Fine jewellers work with precious metals and gemstones, creating beautiful settings to show them off in their best light. Each stone setting type has a different name and requires a different skill. Today, some of the jewellers are working with flush settings. These are settings where the jeweller drills into the metal to set the stone flush with the metal surface. Let's have a look at how a flush setting is made.
So you can see I have made a little sample, and I'm going to show you maybe on a one stone example how to do it in the easier way. As you can see, the stones are quite large that I'm using. They are 2.5 millimeters. That's not usual for flush setting, but you know, they do work and they look really nice. On purpose, I didn't cut the shape out because I want to have a little bit more metal to hold on to my piece. It's not always possible, but in this case, I think it works really well. So using the round burr, I'm gonna open up the seat for the stone. As you can see, I pre-drilled the holes already. So we'll go straight to the setting. I'm gonna have one stone ready, and I'll keep checking the depth of the seat and the size. Okay, I can see that the stone fits in, but I would like to check it from this way. It is still quite high above the surface of the metal, so I would like to drop it down a little bit more. Half of the success of flush setting is to have the stone on the right depth. We don't want it to be too low or too high. So in this case, I'm just going to do a few more drillings to drop it a little bit lower. Okay, so you can see now it's almost level with the surface. We'll make sure it's nice and flat. And what I like to do, I like to press the stone. If you have a metal pusher, flat metal pusher, you can do it with that, or you can use it with a wooden stick, just to sort of fix the stone slightly. And now we have, as you can see, we have like a nice and sharp edge here. And what we'll do with the burnisher of any sort what you have, we're gonna push that metal down and spread it around the stone. I'm doing it under about 45-degree angle. And as you can see, we already have nice and shiny edge. Partially it's because my tool is nice and shiny, so it does make a difference. So first round, you go very slowly, in a very controlled way. Okay, on this side, I have taken too much metal off, so I need to be quite careful about it. And now I move my burnisher a little bit up because I want to press that metal against the stone, because that's what's going to hold it in. Make sure that the tip of your tool is not exactly like a needle point, because it will damage the stone. It has to be a little bit rounded off. And then you can spread the metal over the edge of the stone. So now we can check if the stone is set securely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and push it from the back. It seems fine, and so we can proceed with other stones. And that is how you do a flash setting.
So now I need a doming block. Thanks, Harry. Have you seen these before?
No.
Any idea what it might do?
No.
So what we're going to do is we've got this flat piece of metal here, and we're going to put some masking tape on it just so that we don't ruin the texture. And then we're going to pop it in here, pop this on top, and then whack it with a hammer. Do you want to give me a hand with that?
Yeah.
Cool. So, Harry, you got your hammer? Great. So just want you to whack it as hard as you can. Go for it. Brilliant. I'm just going to turn it round, do that again, and go for it again. Perfect. Thank you. Shall we have a look? There we go. And it's just got a little bit of a dome to it now.
I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to be soldering the central row of claws. Yeah, that's the last one.
Yes. So I've taken the claws here, the tops there, and I've straightened them, and that's what I've used for the claws. But because I now don't have that tension to hold the claws in place, they're soldered, but to protect the solder joints, I've used this Techno Flux. There we go.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It is really good. It will just protect the solder joints so that they hopefully won't flow and take some of the heat out. I'm also using Easy Solder now on these last joints. It's the last lot of soldering, and then you can clean up and hopefully get to some stone setting.
Fantastic, fantastic. Let's get on with it.
Yep.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
This one is ready to go.
Yeah. From that side.
Perfect.
Oh, that one's gone, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is gone too.
Oh,
And
I think
this
I've had. There you go. Yes. And they all go at once.
Oh, I'm trying to.
Oh, it's gone everywhere. Oh dear. Right.
If you direct it with a solder probe. Yep, that's it.
There we go.
Perfect.
Done.
Yay.
Oh, right. Oh,
The relief.
the relief. Finally, I can get onto some stone setting. I think there's going to be some solder that's flowed onto there, and because it's gold, it's going to show up a bit.
I'll have a look in a minute after we finish up. Well done.
Thank you.
It was a lot of soldering.
Very ambitious. Over ambitious.
Do you think it's going to be long enough, Kath?
Without doubt, yeah, it's going to be long enough. It's just about whether it gives the effect that we're hoping for, but we can give it a go anyway and see how it goes, see how it looks.
Oh, that's plenty long enough. It's like twice as long now. We got there. Well done.
We did, yes.
Perseverance. Great. So what's next? You're going to solder it.
Yeah, I'm going to solder it and then wrap it.
How are you going to solder? So solder it first and then solder it to the...
Yes, I think so. I'm going to try that, I think, try it to size, so to sort of slot it on and sweat solder.
Awesome. And how's the rest of your pieces going? I think we've got about an hour and a half left.
Yeah, I need to get a wiggle on.
Okay, great. You can do it.
Okay, thank you.
As well as the making side of things, many jewellers go on to set up and run their own thriving jewellery business, which is a whole skill in itself. I had a chat with Anna Campbell, the community manager at Jewellers Academy, about the initial steps involved in launching a handmade jewellery business.
So Jess, if somebody wanted to start a jewellery business, what are the first steps?
Yes. Well, it's a very exciting time starting a jewellery business, but it can also feel very overwhelming because there's so many little things to get done. So my first bit of advice would be to pick one thing each day that you want to work on, one little micro task. You don't need to do it all immediately, but likewise, you don't want it to take forever. So I find that just chipping away at things and just doing a little thing off the to-do list each day really helps to stay motivated. Then the next thing would be, when I'm starting a jewellery business, is to make some jewellery. So we want to have a little collection that we can launch this business with. So I would say make sort of 5 to 10 pieces that all have some sort of strand running through them that grant them as a collection. And once you've got your pieces, the next step is to take some photographs. So having good photography of your jewellery is really important if you want to sell it anywhere. So either learn to take some pictures yourself, but jewellery photography can be challenging. So I know with my first jewellery business, I hired a photographer to just take those 5 to 10 pieces and used it everywhere. And then you've kind of got the collateral that you need to really start that business.
Yes, and I think as well, one of the things to think about is a name for your business. And for jewellers, luckily, for most of us, we just use our own name. That really works really well. And then I suppose the other thing is, like, where are you going to sell? So it is good to set up even a very basic website or an Etsy shop or something like that, which is, you know, really can be very straightforward to set up and gives people a chance to be able to buy your pieces. And then it's about starting to share about what you're doing on your social media. It's great to share it with your own networks because they're ready, willing to support you and to help you with your jewellery business.
Absolutely. And I think having a community of jewellers or makers around you who are running their own jewellery businesses as well is so helpful because you can share what's going on, you can get support, encouragement and motivation, because the main thing really is just doing it at the end of the day. So that's what we try and do at Jewellers Academy, is bring that community together, and it's just wonderful to watch people's businesses grow. Okay, jewellers, I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we have just 1 hour left to go to complete your projects. So this is the final 60 minutes of making time, polishing, finishing. I know there's lots of stone setting to do. Just keep going. That would be my advice. 1 hour left. How's it going, Kate? It's looking amazing. It is looking amazing. I know that you've got lots of stone setting to do, which probably can't be done in an hour, but we soldier forth. We get done what we can.
How's it going, Tressa? Is it working?
No.
Oh no, what's happening?
So I thought it had soldered, it hadn't, it had fused, but not quite where it should have done. And I've put some more solder and we're hopefully going to fill the gap.
Good luck. Good luck. Thank you. Hope it works.
I think it's soldered.
Okay, jewelers, time is up. Stop what you're making. You have done it. Well done. I know it's been a difficult day today. Don't worry if you haven't finished, but your 5 hours are up. So if you could get your pieces and pop them onto the mentors table, ready for feedback. I can't wait to see them. A massive well done. You have achieved so much in such a short space of time. Well done. Oh. It's all right. You did it. You did it. So Anelia, the jewelers have made it through the first day. How do you think they did?
Oh, they did incredibly well. They created such an interesting pieces using different techniques, different materials. And I think it's fantastic to know the story behind them too. It's really, really great. They've done really great.
Absolutely, yeah. They were very thoughtful about what they made and who they made it for. So let's talk through them one by one so we can get some feedback for the jewelers. So let's start with Cass over here. She made this beautiful necklace with the sweeties, very kind of retro vibe. How do you think she did? What worked and what could she perhaps improve on for next time?
Oh, I really, really love this piece. It just has so much going on, and yet it all works really well together. So we have here different colors, we have different textures, and somehow it's all balanced really, really well.
So which is your favorite sweetie on the necklace?
Oh, I really love this one. It has a beautiful satin finish, kind of creates a nice contrast with the shiny stones, and I love the different colors too. It all works really well together. And what I love about this piece overall, it's very wearable.
Yeah.
And it's very special. It's really, really interesting design-wise.
Yeah, I think her friend will absolutely love it. I know she wanted to have more time to polish it, and there's often with time constraints it is tricky, but like you said, it looks lovely with a satin finish as well, and she got through the flush settings because that was a bit challenging, wasn't it, with the time constraints?
Absolutely, absolutely. She's done really great.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Well, let's move on to Kate's piece next. So, of course, Kate didn't quite get around to finishing her piece, but it was ambitious. So perhaps you can tell us a bit about your feedback for Kate and what worked and what she could work on next time.
Yeah, you are right, Jess. It's a very ambitious piece technically. It's very interesting. I love the idea of it because it has so many stones, but of course it would take a lot more time to make something like this from scratch, and to finish it completely it would need a lot more hours than what we had. However, Kate, she's done really well. She assembled all of it, and she even started setting.
Should we have a little look? Because she has set a stone, which is beautiful, and you can see that, with the stones next to it, that they're all going to go in. And we'll put a picture on as well of it finished so that everyone can see that. And then we've got these 2 layers, and obviously she needs to do a bit of clean up on the back as well. So it sounds like she's doing an amazing job. It's just perhaps she needed 2 or 3 days rather than just the one.
Probably. And I just wanted to say how nice and neat and symmetrical her piercings are. It's actually a very well made piece. It just needs a bit more of a finishing touches.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see it finished. And last but not least, the lovely Tressa. So tell us any feedback you have for Tressa on her piece.
I think it's a fantastic jewelry piece. And what's interesting that Tressa utilized the Katsugi technique, and it linked very well with the idea behind this piece too. It is completely finished. It's done very neatly. She used absolutely beautiful tourmaline The colors work really well, and it really shows, you know, the skill of the students that we have on the course. It's fantastic to see something like that.
Absolutely. I love the K and Boo edge. I think that's such a nice touch, because at first
Yes.
when you see it, you're not so aware, and then when you pick it up, you sort of see that it's got this gold that goes all the way around and up to the bail and down the other side. And like you said, such a beautiful stone, isn't it? I think she picked well in terms of time frame. She wasn't
Yes,
quite as
yes.
rushed, and she was able to, I mean, they were all rushed, but she was able to kind of get the bits done, which is brilliant. So 3 amazing pieces. We have some little awards, don't we, that you're going to give out to the jewellers. So do you want to share those with us now?
Of course. So we had the little thing. Tressa, she would get the award for the most commercial piece.
Brilliant. So that one,
Yes.
something that a lot of people would want to buy, want to wear.
It's very wearable. Yes, it is very sellable to, I think, to a number of people. Like you said, a lot of people would like it. It's not for a particular group of people.
It has wide appeal.
It has wide appeal. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but she's still got her own kind of style in there, which I think is really nice. So hopefully we'll see that evolve over the next few days
Yes.
too.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, most commercial piece.
And the next award goes to Kate for the great technically piece.
It's very technical.
It is very
Lots of stone settings.
Lots of settings, lots of things to consider, you know, how different elements fit together, and I think she's done it really great.
Yeah, lots of solder joins as well, weren't there, for her to kind of think about?
Yes, yes.
And getting the spacing right. You guys talked quite a bit about the spacing
Yes.
between the 2 plates at the bottom. So like you said, just a lot to kind of think about. And as she works on her stone settings, there's going to be even more in there. So brilliant. And
Yes.
last but not least, again, Kath, what is her award?
And the Kath is getting Great Design Award because of what we mentioned earlier. And I think if you have too much going on, it's actually very difficult to make the piece look organic and, you know, to make all elements working together. And Kath's done really well here in this case, I think.
Yeah, I know she spent a long time thinking about which order to put everything in, and actually it worked really well in the end. She's got that nice balance, and the way it hangs is beautiful. And we didn't talk much about the clasp, but thinking about the clasp as the whole piece is really important, isn't it, for handmade jewellery?
Yes, every element she's thought about it, including the clasp.
Yeah.
And yes, we can see it, and, you know, people who will pick it up, who wear it, they will see it as well.
Brilliant. Are you proud of them?
I'm very proud of them. They've done fantastically well.
Wonderful. Well, Anelia, thank you for being here. I know it meant a lot to the jewellers, and it's been wonderful to have your help today.
Thank you for inviting me.
That brings us to the end of day 1. Thanks so much for coming on the journey with us. Join us next time, where the jewellers will be making an engagement ring and wedding ring set for an edgy couple. Think gemstones, ring sizing, and plenty of bling. For now, we're going to sit on our paddle boards on the beach because it's a little too windy to paddle. Until next time, happy making!